this 35-year-old woman who's like clipping 15-year-olds off of TikTok to make her arguments is not the one who's acting with nuance in this situation. Chat, we haven't done it in a while, but I think it's time that we go back to a mainstay on this channel. Arielle Scarcella. You're damn right. The queen of lesbian porn clickbait on YouTube. That was her old grift, remember? Like a long time ago, like 5 years ago, even up to like recently, like the super clickbaity sexual thumbnails, like sort of fetishizing feminism to get like clicks from horny people.
Capitalism, my dude.
Usually horny dudes. Yeah, that was her old grift. But a while ago, she started doing the whole conservative, like right-wing turf thing, you know, like grift for the money. And here we have a video called I'm a pansexual, non-binary, lesbian, trans woman, and furry. Please stop. With 14K views. God damn! That is not good for a 677,000 subscriber channel. These are not good views for a channel with this sub count. Good lord. Trans MMA fighter. They say I'm cheating. Actually, new study shows you do have an advantage. I spanked a porn star. My hottest OnlyFans moments. Oh, yeah, I forgot. She does OnlyFans now, too. Hold on, really quick, chat. Hold on, really quickly. I just need to... Yeah, hold on, chat. Ignore what I'm about to do here. Okay. Okay, they want my credit card number. Okay, and the expiration date. The number's on the back. Okay. All right, and subscribe. Okay. All right. Alrighty. I think I've done my appropriate research for this segment here. As if Zan could ever type that fast. True. Anyway, let's go ahead and watch this new video from 9 hours ago. I'm a pansexual, non-binary, lesbian, trans woman, and furry. Okay, we're about to want to kill ourselves because of both sides of this video. Because we know the progressive side of the video is going to be really cringe, and then the Arielle Scarcella side of the video is going to be really transphobic. So we're just going to get the perfect combination of like the worst that you can possibly think.
When straight men have sex with men, they're still straight. It doesn't erase heterosexuality any more than when gay men have sex with women.
He uses he, him
God, can we get rid of TikTok, guys? Can we just fucking yeet it? Can we please get rid of TikTok? I feel like TikTok is setting the left back so far. It really is. TikTok is really just setting the left back generations in social progress, I feel like.
Pronouns, because pronouns don't equal gender. And also because pronouns don't equal gender, he is also a lesbian.
I made a video about being a lesbian with a boyfriend. My boyfriend is non-binary, he prefers masculine terms, and he uses he, they pronouns.
Yes! Today is a great day to stir up some bullshit. Arielle is a gatekeeping racist lesbian, and she specifically uses transphobic rhetoric when talking about sexuality, so I don't know why any trans folk agree with her. Okay, so those of you who don't know what gatekeeping is, this is what this video is going to be about. Gatekeeping is when someone takes it upon themselves, like they're claiming I'm doing, to decide who does or does not have access or rights to a specific community or identity. So why am I talking about this, you might ask?
So I am going to come out today and say that I've been
Bro, we're doing the attack helicopter now? We're actually doing the attack helicopter? You're actually doing... This is funny to me because Ollie London here, for those that don't know, this is Ollie London, who's a massive troll, who's like a notorious troll who is transitioning to be Korean and claims to be trans-Korean. So yeah, the trans community, as you can imagine, like went extremely hard on this person and like criticized the fuck out of them for being a troll and being racist and transphobic in their behavior. Like, this is not somebody who has the support of the broader trans community, obviously.
Because I know a lot of people don't understand me, but I do identify as Korean.
I want to dismantle a system of oppression that forces everyone to be the perfect most version of their assigned gender.
Yeah, I mean, sounds about right. We need a little bit of this in our community, don't you agree? I mean, we need a lot of bit of this. I try to tread carefully in matters with members of our community that I cannot specifically relate to, but I will say this and only this. If you agree with Arielle Scarcella in anything related to gender or sexuality, I am very concerned.
You know, this is actually something I appreciate about Blair White's content as opposed to Arielle Scarcella's content. Arielle Scarcella is doing the kind of grift where you have to hardcore play a victim. So every single video we watch from her isn't even her making arguments in favor of her opinions. It's her complaining about how she is getting canceled by, like, the transes or whatever. So every single, like, when I watch a Blair White video, at least we have content and opinions to, like, respond to. But with Arielle Scarcella, she just shows clips from TikTok of, like, 14-year-olds who have, like, you know, kind of silly haircuts and makeup on and piercings and are, like, some kind of queer, and then makes fun of them, and it's, you know, kind of hard to argue against that. Like, it is low, like, I'm sorry, guys. It is kind of hard to argue that this getup isn't a little bit silly. Is it cool? Kind of like it. It's pretty cool. I like the green eyebrows with, like, the green colored contacts. You know, it's pretty dope. But you're gonna have to understand that to the vast majority of people who are gonna watch an Arielle Scarcella video, this person is like the end of the world to them. Okay, the fact that this person exists, that people like this exist, is like terrifying to them. They think that they're gonna be walking around in public one day, and this person's gonna approach them, and they're gonna be like, "You're a fucking transphobe." And then the cops are going to come, the gender police are going to come and arrest them for using the wrong pronouns or whatever. Like, the types of people who watch Arielle Scarcella's videos genuinely live in constant fear of that possibility.
Okay, just because I'm curious and I like, you know, messing with the haters every once in a while.
Also, like, I'm going to be honest here, okay? If you like Marilyn Manson and the way that these fucking Zoomers dress and behave, these, like, little gay Zoomers behave and dress is like cringy, then you're a fucking hypocrite, okay? All right, Marilyn Manson was the one who began, like, the modern day SJW style, okay? Listen, 90% of the, like, fucking super woke, sensitive SJW type lefties that I meet have dress exactly like this and have this exact type of makeup and style, okay? Maybe a little more colorful, but basically exactly this, okay? If you like Marilyn Manson, you're a fucking hypocrite if you have a problem with this.
If you agree with Arielle Scarcella, that would be me. On anything related to gender and sexuality, click the like button right now. Let's make that happen. Just for reference, here's what happens when we don't gatekeep. In this case, it's the word and identity of woman.
How would you define what a woman is?
Oh my God. I think a woman, that's a trick question.
That's right, not gatekeeping the word woman causes...
A woman is somebody who identifies as a woman. Damn, dude. Holy shit. Wait, this is why... Have you noticed that, like, left-wing figures generally don't make content where they're just questioning random people in the street to try to make their arguments? Like, there's all gas, no brakes, whatever it's called now, but usually it's just meant to be entertaining and comedy. It's not supposed to, like, push a general political narrative as hard as, like, let's say a Caitlyn Bennett video where she walks around random people. And that's because... there's a reason why people like Arielle Scarcella and whatnot refuse to do debates. There's reasons why people like Sargon have publicly said they'll never debate Vosh or BreadTube again or whatever. And that's because they know they don't have the right, like, the correct arguments. They know they're wrong. And so the only types of people they feel comfortable, like, engaging with debate-wise are random normies at a protest. It's why people like this dude do it. It's why people like... what's his name, or what's her name? Caitlyn Bennett do it. They all fucking do that.
That's a trick question.
That's right, not gatekeeping the word woman causes this.
She debated Destiny, though? Wait, Destiny and Arielle Scarcella debated? Oh, wait, I remember that. Yeah, Destiny used kid gloves. Yeah, that was back when Destiny was like super mad at trans people, so he was using like big kid gloves with her. I remember that.
I'm not even sure.
Women at a women's march cannot define the word woman, literal clown world. And asking them to define the word woman isn't a trick question, right? Are we talking about societal impacts as a woman? Are we talking about biological rights as a woman? This is why words matter.
A woman is anyone that identifies as a woman. If you identify as a woman, if you want to be a woman, then you're a woman.
And how can we protect something that we can't define?
When was Destiny ever not super mad at trans people? Trust me, early 2019 pre-Lefty Arc Destiny would have ripped Arielle Scarcella apart, okay? I promise you, all right? Destiny 3 years ago would have not used kid gloves on Arielle Scarcella, okay?
There's a problem. Language matters. Communication matters. Understanding one another matters. At the moment, the far left is especially hung up on gatekeeping what gender and gender identity mean.
Okay. Gatekeeping and inclusivity are not the same thing. What's happening here is Arielle Scarcella is seeing clips of Zoomers who want to like expand and broaden the definition of woman, and then Arielle Scarcella is calling it gatekeeping. That's what we're witnessing here.
Especially what trans means and who can identify with the word trans. Everyone wants to be trans because trans can mean anything these days, and trans is also getting the most attention because it's supposed to be the most...
Listen, Arielle, I'm progressive, and I mostly hang out in very progressive trans-friendly communities. I do not want to be trans, okay? I do not want to be trans, all right? I'm very glad I'm cis. I do not want to have to deal with the bullshit that trans people have to go through in society, okay? I am very, very grateful that I am not part of any group all the way down the line. I lucked the fuck out. I'm straight, I'm white, I'm male, I'm cis, everything, all down the fucking line, okay? Like, I lucked out. There are no groups that are specifically trying to impede on my rights based on immutable characteristics like my race and my sexuality. Yeah, being trans is fucking hard. I don't need that in my life.
Pressed group. I mean, here I am making videos about it like once or twice a month now. So yeah, it's getting a lot of attention. Not gatekeeping the word trans is giving actual transsexuals a bad name and reputation. We now have kids running around about how difficult being gender fluid is.
Do you know how hard it is to pack clothing for a several-day trip when you are gender fluid? Am I gonna be a boy most of the days here?
How old is Arielle Scarcella? I'm actually really fucking curious. Hold on. Arielle Scarcella age. How old is she? 35 years old. This is a 35-year-old woman who's like clip chimping 15-year-olds.
Or a girl, or just a fart in the wind.
And all this time I thought gender had nothing to do with clothes, because it doesn't. Do you know how hard it is to pack clothes for a several-day trip when you're gender fluid? I can't with that meme. But some of my favorite parts of these videos are the tweets that are like reply.
What? This is like so bizarre to me. It's like random kids who are like gender fluid on like TikTok who are talking about like, yeah, you really owned that 15-year-old trans kid, Arielle Scarcella, Miss 35-year-old woman with 677,000 YouTube subs. You really does she really wonder why people in the trans community don't like her? They don't like you, not because of like your opinions or whatever. Like, I imagine they don't like you because of that. But the reason why people in the trans community really hate you, Arielle Scarcella, is because you make videos where you respond to 15-year-olds on fucking TikTok. And you know your audience is going to go harass those people, right? You make toxic content.
Replying to these videos when like libs of TikTok post stuff. And someone said, what does she wear on the days she's the fart? So in a Pink News article, they said, the situation is even worse for trans
Fucking Pink News.
people seeking vital health care. The waiting list for London's NHS gender clinic is now estimated to be 26 years, meaning countless trans people are being pushed to pay for private treatment instead. And my friend Mars, who's a trans...
Pink News is usually like okay, but they have some pretty cringy op-eds on there that I don't like.
Trans man and an awesome person responded to that post and said this, and I think it sums it up perfectly. You guys did this to yourself, meaning the community. You wanted to affirm anybody that claims to be transgender because why not ask questions? That's transphobic. You can just announce that you're trans and bam, you are. What could possibly go wrong after that? Oh, you know, just longer wait times and a crazy increase in detransition.
Oh my fucking god. I know who that Mars dude is, by the way. Me and Vosh ended up blowing him the fuck out because he made video responses to both of us, and he got quit making videos or something like that. He's like a very, very stupid trans dude. Okay. For one, the rules to get medical treatment as a trans person to medically transition in the UK are unbelievably strict. If you're unironically going to try to argue that the laws and the procedure in the fucking UK for determining whether or not you're trans and giving you treatment are too fucking broad and too loose, then you're fucking insane. All right? You have to I'm pretty sure in the UK, in order to even transition, you have to live for years without hormones as the gender you identify as and be able to verify that in order to get any medical treatment. You have to live for years without hormones as an adult or whatever, living as that gender identity in life without any medical help, by the way. So you have to go outside presenting as a woman without any medical support for years in order to even get hormones. Do you know how fucking hard that is? That you have to let's say you're somebody who's you're a trans woman and you got fucked over genetically to be a trans woman. You happen to have a lot of testosterone in your system and you have trouble with your you get called out a lot. You get clocked very often. You have to, in the fucking UK, the turf island, in order to get your hands on hormones, you have to dress, present, and identify publicly as a woman despite not being able to have access to everything you need to augment your appearance in the way you want it to be, which can be very dangerous for trans women in particular, especially. The DSM-5 actually got more specific than the DSM-4 to avoid GNC cis people transitioning accidentally. This claim doesn't make any sense for this reason if they're abiding by these standards for the USA, at least, Xanderhall. Yeah, they abide by the same standards in the UK, but a few laws in the UK also make it harder for trans people because feminism in the UK is extremely trans exclusionary. Feminists in the UK hate trans women. They really fucking do. British feminism is extremely toxic. I'm pretty sure up until recently, men couldn't legally be raped by a woman in the UK. By law. Men couldn't legally be raped or sexually assaulted by a woman in the UK because the definition of rape in the UK necessitates penetration by a penis for it to be considered rape or used to be. So for many, many years, if a woman forced herself on a man, it wouldn't be considered rape. Yeah, they're fucking wild over there.
He also said, because we can't fully agree on a new true definition of gender dysphoria, gender identity, and transgender, we have to
Wait, we can't agree on a true definition of it. No, we've got a definition of it. Look at the DSM-5, dog. Do you think that 15-year-old TikTokers are running gender clinics in the UK? Or do you think it's doctors who have to follow certain guidelines? Also, proportionally, the detransition rate has dropped. The more access you give to trans people, to trans medical care, the more detransition rates drop. Because then you've got less people who think they might be trans and don't have access to a gender clinic where they can either have their gender reaffirmed or, come to a conclusion on whether or not they actually have dysphoria, who are just finding other ways to transition than finding out later in life that they aren't actually trans.
I'm Lynx Wildcat. I am a polyamorous, pansexual, lesbian, non-binary trans woman. I'm also a furry, and my pronouns are she, her, and it.
How can somebody be both a lesbian and a pansexual? Literally two different sexual orientations, but okay.
So yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier, where it's some of these TikToks seem very contradictory. I know ContraPoints tweeted about this recently, but sexuality is extremely complicated, right? So from my understanding, nowadays in the lesbian community, there's like listen, I'm not a lesbian, okay? I'm a fucking straight, white, cis, heterosexual. I said straight twice there. That's what heterosexual means. I'm like privileged down the columns, okay? I'm not in a single marginalized group. I'm about as privileged as you can be without being rich, okay? If I was rich, I would be the most privileged you can be. Besides that, I'm as privileged as it gets. But from my understanding, there's like a lot of stuff in like the lesbian community even that sounds really weird. Like he, him lesbians. Have you guys heard about that? He, him lesbians? Big discourse. I've said they're valid and gotten canceled for it before. I don't think those people who get upset about that realize that like most he, him lesbians, from what I've heard, are AFAB, assigned female at birth, present femininely. They have like a vagina and boobs and everything, but they go by he, him pronouns. Or usually they're more butch. They're on like the more butch side, but like they're like, you would look at them and say, oh, there's like a very butch lesbian walking down the street there if you saw them out in public. And they go by he, him pronouns, but they still consider themselves to be a woman. Their partner still considers them to be a woman. It's really complicated. Sex and gender are fucking weird. Sexual identity and all that, super fucking odd. There are scholars who dig into this kind of stuff and can explain it far better than me. But trust me, this 35-year-old woman who's like clipping 15-year-olds off of TikTok to make her arguments is not the one who's acting with nuance in this situation on these issues.
We don't live in a utopia. In my opinion, if you don't have your own identity to claim, you will have an identity crisis, right? Everyone wants to feel like they know who they are and what they want to be a part of, and they want to be a part of something bigger than just being themselves, which is healthy. People want community. But when these communities and the words that...
That's also something you grow out of, I think. I literally don't care about being part of a community as much anymore. I care about individuals within communities that I care about, and demographics that I care about, like, you know, maintaining the rights up. But I hate the left. I hate the left, guys. I don't like, listen, guys, who criticizes the left more than me? Besides, like, maybe Vosh and stuff like that. But, like, I criticize the left a lot. You guys in chat, we criticize the left a lot, okay? We are very self-critical, okay? Maybe Destiny. We are very self-critical here. We don't give a fuck about having like a homogenous community that we stay a part of. At least I don't. I think that like the hardcore desire to fit in with a group, which is what leads a lot of lefties down, or a lot of people down the alt-right pipeline. Hey, Cirrus, I noticed you were in chat, by the way. I feel like that desire for belonging and community is something you grow out of and is what causes so many young people to be radicalized to the right. Being radicalized to the right because you hate leftists is weak. We hate leftists every day and we are left. Yeah, exactly.
Bring them together, become meaningless, it causes chaos. Gatekeeping is a good thing. Do you know what is it? Creating new words or redefining old ones to be able...
Oh my God. What are the chances that Arielle Scarcella cites a Hotep account to be anti-LGBT? Black together again. I'm one with this meme, the white guilt being covered up with queerness. I 100% believe this person's like a Tariq Nasheed stan. This is a person who argues that that like white people are faking being gay to avoid being criticized for being oppressive white people, and then like. Yeah, no, this is full on like buck breaking, Tariq Nasheed, like Hotep homophobia. That Arielle Scarcella is shouting out here. Actually, let's look up this account, KProtein19, because I know we're about to see some cringy shit. How much you want to bet they're gonna have me blocked? They still on Twitter? Ah, nothing. They changed their @. But their name is Black Together Again. Let's see if it's there. There it is. Oh, wait, they are still around. All right, there we go. Let's check this out. 7,900 followers. Black, unapologetically. Lesbian, prosecutor, sports lover. Yes, it is. Don't follow if fragile about racism, sexism, homophobia. Pronouns don't belong to you. This is peak girl boss lib. It is a complete myth that Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia Rivera started the Stonewall riots, and thus the transgender community is responsible for pride/LGBT rights. This false claim has gained significant traction and needs to be addressed. Wait, is that actually untrue? Is it not true that Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, who were both trans, started it? Oh, of course, a TERF. We called that the moment I saw the account. Hashtag peak trans. They're a TERF. Retweeting Glenn Greenwald. Ooh. This is fine. What I was owed. Jesus fucking Christ, what is wrong with males? What is wrong with males? So they're femcel as well. The ACLU is anti-free speech and even worse, pro-compelled speech. So they're anti-ACLU because they're pro-LGBT and stuff. This person said, what it's about is the desire to keep they're not real, they'll be real, don't buy into it, a legitimate side of discussion of trans people. It's about the hope that I do not recognize their legitimacy stays on the spectrum. So this person's defending trans people, and this person says, gaslighting nonsense. A male claiming to be a woman is not to be believed any more than a male claiming to be a cat. This obviously does not mean lack of existence. It simply means we refuse to affirm obvious lies. Your critical thinking skills, however, are non-existent. So, yeah, this is the person who... Arielle Scarcella was shouting out here.
To play the victim. Taking the work that actual LGBT people...
We talked about this earlier, remember? With the anti-miscegenation post made by that one black girl on Twitter, where there's like this massive uprising in Hotep, anti-LGBT, anti-progressive, like full-on Nazi and like far-right conservative talking points, but wrapped up in a woke pro-black wrapping paper.
Fought for to bring actual inclusivity and equal rights to the world is now being torn down because of people like this. I want to end this video with a post someone made over on my Locals page. If you're not following that page already, you definitely should. I post a ton of content that I never post here because, you know, YouTube will cancel me and such. So if you're not following me there, go follow me. And this...
All right, now she's shilling. Dude, this is the most pathetic shit I've ever seen. Literally just a fucking grown-ass woman. I'm still free to talk about the whole black homophobia shit if you want to get an easy segment out of it. Yeah, let's do that after I finish this video. Actually, we're finishing it right now. You know what? Let's finish it right now. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon. We're trying to hit 75K subs by the end of the year, and we're having a hard time doing it because YouTube hates me, so... If you subscribe, I appreciate it. You can also follow my social media, all linked down below. My Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Discord, all of it linked down there, as well as supporting me financially if you can afford to do so, by donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub over on my website, over on YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, or through Patreon. But no matter how you support me, whether it be a comment, a like, a view, or a donation, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.